Hi everyone, welcome to Navigating Common Turnarounds Lesson 2. In this lesson we're going to be talking about the 3 minor, 6, 2 minor, 5 turnaround and the 3 minor, flat 3 minor, 2 minor, flat 2 minor turnaround. Now that's a mouthful, but it's really quite simple. What we talked about last time was playing a simple 1, 6, 2, 5, and this whole lesson is just going to revolve around simple substitutions for that. So we're going to be using the song Exactly Like You as the main example of how this all works in this lesson. We're going to be focused on the key of C, so to kind of spell out those basic changes, our first basic grip for the 3 in the key of C is an E minor. We've got the E minor right there. Our next basic grip is going to be an A7, which is going to be found right here. Now this is with the added 9 in it, and as we talked about in the previous lesson, a lot of the time in these kinds of sounds we want to add the flat 9. So we're going to bump this B down to the B flat and we have an A7 flat 9. So we have E minor for the 3, A7 flat 9 for the 6. We have D minor right here for the 2. And then instead of a G7 with a 9, we're going to do a G7 with the flat 9. And that typically resolves right into our C triad right here. So, and that can be repeated all over the guitar in different spots, but this is just a really common and easy way to grip it in this position. So the idea is that we're going to play out of all of these shapes and just kind of make consecutive lines that just run in them and then out of them. So if we're looking at our first example, Example 1, ascending, we're just going to break this up into simple little fragments and just work that shape down. So the little example is going to go a 1, 2, 3, 4. Really nice and very melodic. Let's try it a little slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's break it down. We've got our E minor right here. So we're just playing E, G, and B right up the triad, and then coming back to G. Now this is the second half of the bar, so we're now thinking A7 there. So from this G, I'm going to jump back up to the B flat, the flat 9. And then I'm just going to come down the arpeggio. B flat, G, E, C sharp. We've talked about if this is like our A7 shape, you can do this arpeggio quite a bit in past lessons, or with flat 9 as a little jumping off point. This is just reversing it. Or, okay, so we have, and now this C sharp leads us right into D minor, just a half step. And we just go up D minor, so it's D, F, and A, back to F. And then our hands are doing the same position for the G7 flat 9. We have the A flat, F, D, C, excuse me, B, and then up to C as the resolution. So, now we can make little variations on that. We could go, changing up the rhythm. That was resolving a little, excuse me, resolving a little early to the flat 9. We could just ignore the flat 9 completely and just work down to the C sharp, the third of A7, and then down to the B, the third of G7. So you have different little options. So in the context of putting that into Exactly Like You, if we have the melody that's going, right? So that's just fitting that right at the tail end there. We've got the C chord, up to the 2, which is the D7, to the 5, and then we're going 3, 6, 2, 5. One more time. All right, so that's how that's just fitting right together. Now that, what I just did is going to transition us into the next one, just a descending idea. So you just flip everything, right? So if this is our E minor, we're going to start on the B. And we're just going to come down, in this example, we're going to go a 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and all that's doing is coming down the E minor arpeggio, B, G, E, D, right? So we're getting the 7th in there a little bit. That's a little new. That resolves us down to the C sharp. Then we're going up the A7 flat 9 arpeggio, or the diminished arpeggio, C sharp, E, G, B flat. Resolves right down to the A, which is the 5th of D minor. Down D minor, down to the 3rd of G, which is the B, then up the arpeggio, and then back home. So in context, right, just 2 of the same kind of going through there. Now we can avoid some notes and just kind of leave out, kind of change the rhythm up. Okay, so just jumping around, and it, you know, you can vary between going consecutively, going note, 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 note in a line, right? Or just jumping around and getting fragments of those chords. That's the idea, okay? So now we're going to kind of move to a slightly different position of the neck and do the same thing, but now focus on adding the 7th of these minor chords.